Last one, I promise. Here's all the changes I would make to Naruto that I feel would make it better. Let's get this over with. She's gone. I don't think she was an inherently bad idea. I just think they were doing way too much with way too little time. If you really needed a spin-off series after Naruto, then yeah, you should have just introduced her then. Or better yet, I feel like introducing her in a movie would have been better. Have a whole movie explaining where the tailed beasts come from. The fans would have loved that back in the day before they just shoved it into the plot. Should have been way more excited for baby Kurama. You ruined it. So yeah, final villain status. Congratulations. I've been hearing this passed around. Change up the lineups. Okay, so I see where y'all coming from, like get people who are more matched up to the student skill set, but hear me out on this. Instead of that, alternating. The first time I heard Naruto call one of these people sensei, I was like, they didn't teach you nothing? And then I thought about it a little further, and I'm like, Kakashi didn't teach you anything either, so I guess. Yeah, alternating teams, and I feel like it works out perfectly because Genjutsu, Taijutsu, Ninjutsu. I forgot the technical name, but the use of weaponry and tools. You want well-rounded students, you need to give them a variety. Aside from Lee and Neji, Naruto's probably the best Taijutsu user. And would you look at what we got here? But you know what? Give his knuckles to her. There was a filler episode in Shippuden explaining why he needs to learn Taijutsu. Should've got him. Sensory team, dogs, Ninken. Like, why were we waiting for Kakashi every single episode instead of just going to another sensei? Like, we wouldn't need Kakashi to pick favorites. We would have had Kurenai to teach Sasuke Genjutsu. Three's one I've been yapping about forever. Help the side characters out. I know the show's called Naruto, but you have these lovable characters on the sideline with their own stories, with their own pacing, and you're not utilizing that. Make their relationship rocky, because right after their fight, right after the tuning exams, it was like, Lady Hinata, Lady Hinata. Bro, that is your oppressor. No hate to my girl, because I know it's not her fault, but you think he's just gonna give up like that? What made my boy complacent? Baby steps, and I got the perfect way for you. Give them friends outside of their immediate team. I already got a good friend for Neji, Kiba. Kiba and Neji could have gave like sort of Alucard and Trevor Belmont vibes. They could have been at each other's throats at any given moment. It would have been the most endearing friendship that we would have ever seen on screen. Same way Neji and Naruto's personalities clash, I feel like it would have been even funnier for Neji and Kiba. Because one's really neat, one's really proper, one's really by the book, very serious, and the other one's basically an animal. But also, utilize the friendship between Hinata and Kiba just so that he can be like the mediator between the two. Before I get into the other friendships, there's going to be a very unpopular opinion. I feel like Neji's demise was unnecessary. I felt emotionally detached from it. I felt like it came out of nowhere. I felt like there was no build up to it. I felt like it was just... And I know that's the point, it's war, you can't really predict anything. But at the same time, I didn't really feel anything, and I feel like something that would have been a better idea was Kiba. I feel like I would have bawled if it was Kiba, and I feel like a lot of people would have too, despite all the crap we talk. If he left Akamaru by himself, we would have wept, y'all. And while we're at it, get rid of him too, and I'll get into that later. Make Shino and Ino friends, because I feel like it makes sense. I feel like her family, who has a flower shop, also beekeeps. And I feel like that can be a very good link between their families. Bees, ladybugs, just any insect that helps a garden. And in turn, give Ino a little bit of a personality quirk, like someone who's like the pretty girl, the popular girl, she loves bugs. No one knew how to explain it, then one episode, you have a conversation between these two. Tenten and Shikamaru. Wow, why does that make sense? Lazy versus tryhard. I feel like we need to capitalize off Tenten being a tomboy. I feel like that just makes sense to me. So y'all want Tenten to be with Lee? Personally, I want Tenten to be... I don't know, like she just giving me that vibe. It would be a cool dynamic. Be like, come on, Shikamaru, let's go for a 10-mile run. And if you're gonna make her a tryhard, then make her friends with Lee too. Ino and Naruto, I feel like they would have like this one episode where they would be in a fake relationship to make Sakura and Sasuke jealous. And ever since then, they had this brother-sister thing going on. I never saw this filler, but I need to. Also, make Sakura and Ino friends. Like, make them butt heads, but don't do that whole thing where they stopped being friends. I felt like that was so weird. Sakura and Hinata, no explanation needed. Gaara, Lee, and Naruto, the best friend group. And finally, make the Sand siblings love Naruto and make Temari like an older sister. Tell me she wouldn't hit him right here. Alright, so back to him. Passes during the war. Before he goes, he has a whole apology tour. Sorry Hinata, sorry Neji. Releases Neji from the thing. We all remember how he treated Hinata, right? Yeah, screw him. But make it so that he was horrible to her too. Make it so that her expectations were completely unfair by the age of 3 or 4. And when he passes, she's like, I can't do this. I know how they did like a huge personality swap for her in the movie. I like that direction, keep that direction, but make it so she never wanted to be the head of the clan. Make it so she gives it back to Hinata saying, Hinata, please, I cannot do that. And then Hinata takes the head of the clan and then she gets Neji to help her. Therefore changing the Hyuga clan from the inside. Eventually with Naruto's help. Next, make Orochimaru one of the final villains. Like, so much wasted potential from the original series to Shippuden. This man had a cult following, right? He had hundreds, if not thousands of people locked away in his basement. We didn't need Zetsu. If we needed bodies for the reincarnation, Orochimaru probably had the numbers on him. Because what was Orochimaru's whole thing? He changed when he lost his parents because of the outcome of war. Make that his thing. Make it so he becomes a political leader. That his main thing that he indoctrinates ninjas, the people who are grieving because they lost someone during the war. Make Orochimaru some sort of like savior to these people. Know how morally corrupt this man actually is, because I feel like in the original series we got a better picture. I feel like it would be the most delicious dark twist if we just got actual volunteers for the reincarnation jutsu, because once they get reincarnated, that's it. It's no longer their body. Like, they're still conscious underneath, but they're gone. Whoever's being reincarnated is in control. Now that, if I do say so myself. Next, Naruto loses Kurama at the end of the series, because why would you keep him held captive? He's like, oh, I like it here now. Like, bye. Next, make him a villain, because I feel like him just being jaded and indoctrinated is a better explanation than somehow trying to convince ourselves that he was a hero. Next, put some Attack on Titan twist on it, like the way the Eldians were treated. Not to the same extent, but I want to see their thoughts of revolution. I want to see what their ideas were. Because I need Obito's explanation to make more sense than outside that he lost his girlfriend. I need to see that he held some grudge against his clan. Next, don't wait for Tsunade. Train Sakura in medical jutsu from the get-go. Like, make that her major, actually. Make it so that medical jutsu is almost a requirement, at least for like shadow cuts or something like that. Next, I don't need them together, but I need you to deepen their bonds. Because if we had a little bit more writing for them, we could have got this. Next, more jutsus. We did not get nearly enough jutsus. Naruto made a Rasen Shuriken in Shippuden and that was treated like the holy grail. Introduce elements from the get-go. Like, right after chakra control, introduce elements. Like, I feel like Naruto should have known he was a wind style from like age 13. I know the anime already kind of did this, but make it so the ninjas only have like 1 or 2 elements, because I feel like them training for all of them is just kind of a hack. Oh yeah, the most elite ninjas can use all of them. I'm like, oh, that's some bullshit. And make Naruto's wind and water, because Uzumaki, Whirlpool Village. And finally, change how the whole village knows about Naruto being the Nine Tails, because the explanation that we got was tired. Like, y'all know how the whole village figured it out? Danzo. Danzo told everybody. For why? We don't know. A plot device for everyone to hate Naruto so that we got a tragic backstory for him. Because if I were Danzo, someone who was like a strategist as much as he was, I feel like the first priority with me will either kidnap Naruto and make him my tool, like most villages did for their tailed beast, or hiding him. And I feel like that's a good explanation for what the third Hokage would have done. Not put Naruto in the ghetto. I feel like he would have put Naruto out in the woods. And this is where they come in. Uchiha were put on the outskirts of the village. Like, they were isolated to where they felt they had absolutely no say-so in how the village was treating them. Y'all remember in the first episode, that little hut in the woods where Naruto found the forbidden scroll that taught him multi-shadow clone jutsu? Yeah, put a house out there. Make Naruto so far outside the village that no one even know that he exists. So Naruto's backstory isn't that he was persecuted for being the Nine Tails, it's just that he grew up lonely. He grew up longing for love, for care, for the village, but he was just on the outskirts and he wasn't really allowed in there all the time. Make it so the third Hokage made it so that he had to stay in hiding just so that Danzo didn't find him. Instead of treating Naruto like crap for no reason, he actually has a good explanation in this reality. But of course, Naruto's not going to listen because he's a child, so he's going to tiptoe to the Leaf Village on the very outskirts, and guess who he's going to meet? And there you have it. You have their friendship, and actually believable explanation on how and why they're friends. Because we didn't get that shit until after they nearly offed each other. The Uchiha Massacre thing, and through that, make Danzo a war criminal. Let's make it so that he did that without the third Hokage's approval. And on that night, that's when he found out about Naruto. Right before he was banished from the Leaf Village. Through that example of political corruption, that's the night when Naruto wants to become Hokage, when his friend was on his shoulder crying. He was too young to understand what was really going on in the Uchiha clan and what they were planning, just like what happened in the anime originally. We'll figure it out much later, but beforehand, make it so that he needed to become a ninja. And that night, he made a deal with Lord 30. He's like, I need to become Hokage. I need to become a ninja. Let me. But right when he becomes a ninja, make it so one of Lord Danzo's followers sells Naruto out to the whole Konoha. And then you have everyone knowing who he is. Around the same story, alone and hated, but this time it's alone and then hated. But I feel like in this reality, it makes sense for Naruto to love the village the way that he does, because in the other one, I feel like this man could become a villain. We'd all justify it. Alright, so that was a long ass video. I'm gonna upload this one to my YouTube. And I promise y'all, I actually do like the anime. It's just, there's so many holes. I respect what it's done for the culture, but at the same time, I'm like,